You're listening to the Femcast podcast, the podcast for women who are truly ready to break free from toxic relationship patterns, choose themselves, and become a magnet for the healthy love they deserve. Let's do this. This podcast is listener discretion advised for mature content and coarse language. Whatever. Hey you guys, what is up? And welcome back to the show. So excited and grateful to have you here. This is part 3 of our 5-part mini-series, Moving Through the Storm, How to Navigate Difficult Emotions, Uncertainty, and Change in Life and in Love when life feels overwhelming, whether it's from a personal struggle, relationship challenges, or just the mere chaos of the world around us these days. It's easy to get stuck in fear and doubt. In this 5-part mini-series, I'm sharing the exact process that I show you to move through a lot of these uncertain times with trust, with faith, with grace, and with my personal power intact. Okay. So this series is for you if you're feeling scared, uncertain, overwhelmed, stuck, emotionally drained, and just need a clear way to process what you're going through. If uncertainty in life or love is making you extremely anxious and you just want tools to navigate it with peace and confidence, or if you're going through a difficult transition, heartbreak, personal evolution, and you just need support moving through it with strength and faith, then this series is totally for you. So today is part 3, and these are the mindset shifts that will help you to move through the chaos, the storm, the upheaval, all of it. And these are the mindset shifts that I have repeatedly made again and again to help me get through times of upheaval. Okay, so we are going to jump right into it. But before we do, answer me this. Riddle me this, Batman. Was that from Batman? I think it was. Anyway, what's the biggest emotion you've been struggling with lately? What's been coming up for you? What's been triggered within you? How have you been navigating through it? Have you been trying to ignore it, escape it, deal with it, process it? What's it like in your emotional state of the world? Hit me up at the Femcast and let me know, or send me an email at maria@thefemcoach.com. I will do my best to get a response out to everybody that I do hear from. But I do want to know what your comfort level is with moving through emotions. It's a very important question, and it's going to be an important conversation that we have here on the podcast going forward. So here's today's practice, and that is the mindset shifts that are going to make this easier for you. When you move through these chaotic times, these times of upheaval, of major transformation to the point where it feels dysregulating almost, and it makes you feel dysregulated and unstable. Like, these are the shifts that move mountains, they move souls, right? And I want you to remember that, because, and this is something that we talked about yesterday, and this is the first mindset shift that I want you to really practice, is really a question. Why would my soul have chosen this? What am I being asked to learn? And what am I being asked to evolve through? Because I'll tell you, these big moments like this, they're never an accident. Many things happen in life. Yes, we do attract a lot of things, and a lot of it is vibrationally, a vibrational attraction to where we're vibrating. And yes, I totally agree with that 100%. But what I don't agree with is that these big moments in life are also manifestations. Many times they are lessons. Many times there are things that our soul has chosen to learn or move through or experience in order to evolve as a spiritual being. And so when we're ignoring what's happening, or just trying to think positive thoughts or affirmations or whatever to try and, manifest a different reality, we're actually ignoring the very thing we came into this life to do. These big moments are never an accident. They're always a divine design, and they've been divinely put in front of us so that we can evolve spiritually. And oftentimes, and I will say this because my biggest trigger right now has been, what's going on in the world. many times when there's a collective of people, there is a collective lesson to be learned here. Like collective, like everybody is meant to learn this lesson. And I'll tell you right now, like for each one of us, it's going to be something different. For me, it really is about putting less energy, and literally 444 on the clock as I'm saying this, it is putting less emphasis on what I'm seeing in my reality or what is possible within my reality, and focusing on a higher spiritual power and higher spiritual outcomes than I might even think is possible right now. And that is really what I'm being called to. Like, how can I not ignore what's happening? I never think we should ignore what's happening in the world. I think it deserves our attention and our empathy and our support in any way, shape, or form. But when things feel like we can't do anything, that situations are impossible, that it's never going to get better, whatever it is that we're moving through, how can we shift that to, what am I being called to learn here? Why would my soul have incarnated in this life? What am I being asked to learn, and how am I being asked to evolve? And I know that for me, it's being able to evolve out of this idea that whatever I see in the physical, that only what I see in the physical is possible or true, and to believe in something higher and greater than that. Which is usually, it's pretty scary to do when you see everything kind of crumbling around you. But, when I shared my surrender practice yesterday, it's never let me down. Spirit has always shown up. Even though, maybe it felt like, I had to move through periods of anxiety. First, sometimes it felt like literally like spirit comes in on the 11th hour. But it's always there. It always shows up. And I just have to keep reminding myself of that faith, right? And that's my evolution through all of this. Is that, I'm going to trust in a higher power. I'm going to trust that there are solutions that I can't see. I'm going to trust that this is working out for the highest and greatest good of all. Which leads me to my next thing, which is that, things always get really uncomfortable right before a big breakthrough. And that the bigger the breakthrough, the greater the discomfort. And the greater the reward on the other side. So just because things are as uncomfortable as fuck, they're messy, they're scary, they're dysregulating to our nervous system, which right now this is for me. It's trusting that it gets to all be greater and better on the other side, that there's a greater evolution happening here. Even if we cannot see it, even if we cannot prove it, even if we don't know what that is, just trusting that it's there and that this is showing up intentionally for us to move through this experience. But in moving through this experience, we have to ask ourselves, why did my soul choose this? What am I being asked to learn? How am I being asked to evolve through this? And then the other one is to really just trust that one way or another, this is all going to work out for the highest and greatest good of all, whether you can see it or not. Just trusting that this will work out for the highest and greatest good. May not have proof of it, may not know what or how it's going to happen, or if it's even possible. We're just going to trust that it will, one way or another. And again, just keep going back to, why would my soul have chosen this? What am I being asked to learn? And how am I being asked to evolve? Right? And you may need to go back and surrender something that you're worrying about, and that's okay too, right? Or you need to go back and get some more emotions out and journal some more and get some more feelings out and ask yourself, what am I feeling? Again, feel free to go back and forth between these practices, right? They're very powerful practices. They've seen me through some of the darkest times in my life, and I still use them on the regular whenever I'm moving through something that is challenging, that is overwhelming, that is scary, that feels completely out of my control. This is what I lean on. Okay, so that's all for today, you guys. I will catch you back here tomorrow. If you love this episode, it would mean the world to me if you would leave a positive rating and review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you're listening to this episode. Please let this get out into the other people of the world. And the more you guys comment, the more you guys give it positive ratings and positive reviews, the more people will see this. Until next time, you guys, massive love.